when a white store manager called the cops on a young black girl browsing makeup, accusing her of suspicious behavior. He expected an easy win, but when her mother walked in, calm and commanding, he turned pale. Because she wasn't just the girl's mom. She was the CEO of the entire company. What happens next? Let's start the story. 12-year-old Amara Bennett was just excited to spend her Saturday afternoon picking out lip gloss. She'd finished her homework early, helped her neighbor walk her dog, and finally earned the $10 her mom had promised her as a reward. It wasn't much, but for Amara it was freedom. She loved makeup, not to wear, not yet, but to play with. Colors, textures, shimmer versus matte. Her mother always encouraged her curiosity. So, dressed in her favorite hoodie and sneakers, Amara entered Glow Cosmetics, one of the city's trendiest beauty chains. The moment she stepped in, she smiled at the rainbow of palettes and glittery displays. But within minutes, that smile faded. She noticed the manager, an older white man with sharp eyes and a radio clipped to his belt, watching her from across the store. She tried to ignore him and focused on testing a lip tint, but soon felt him hovering closer. She moved to the nail polish rack. He followed. When she bent to read a label, he stepped directly into her space. "Can I help you with something?" he asked, his tone flat but edged. "I'm just looking," Amara replied politely. "Looking for what?" "Lip gloss. For me. Do you have money for that?" The question punched her like a slap. She blinked. "Yes, sir." He eyed her, then reached for his walkie-talkie. "Stay right here," he said. "Don't touch anything." Amara's stomach twisted. "I didn't steal anything." "I didn't say you did yet." Moments later, a uniformed police officer entered the store. The manager had called him from the back. "She's been acting suspicious," the manager said loudly. "Alone, loitering, maybe casing the place. We've had thefts lately." Amara's heart thudded. Her cheeks burned. The officer looked down at her, then back at the manager. "You called me on a little girl?" the officer asked, confused. "She's not doing anything." "I know how this starts," the manager insisted. "She's not our usual customer." Amara wanted to cry, but she stood still. She wouldn't give them that. The officer sighed and knelt beside her. "Do you have a parent nearby, sweetie?" She nodded and pulled out her phone. "I'll call her." Within 10 minutes, the glass doors of Glow Cosmetics swung open again, and the store fell silent. In walked a woman dressed in an elegant black suit, heels clicking with each step, her presence impossible to ignore. Her skin was the same rich brown as Amara's. Her hair was neatly braided, and her expression was cool and unreadable. She walked straight to her daughter and placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Are you okay?" "I didn't do anything," Amara whispered. "I know," the woman said. Then she turned, to the manager, to the officer, to everyone who was now staring. "Would someone like to tell me why my daughter was harassed in a store I oversee?" The manager stuttered. "Why you oversee?" "Yes," she said. "I'm Camille Bennett, CEO of Glow Cosmetics." The manager turned pale. The officer took a step back. Employees nearby gasped. "We had no idea," the manager stammered. She looked. "What?" Camille asked, voice sharp now. She looked what? Out of place. Poor. Suspicious. Or just black. The manager's mouth opened, then closed again. Camille took out her ID badge and placed it firmly on the counter. "Let me be clear. My daughter, Amara, was browsing makeup she intended to buy. She had money. She followed the rules. You followed her, intimidated her, then called the police. We've had recent thefts," he said weakly. "And you assume the 12-year-old black girl is your culprit?" Camille's voice never rose, but the words cut like ice. "You didn't just embarrass her. You embarrassed this brand. You embarrassed this store. And you embarrassed yourself." She turned to the officer. "Thank you for your time, officer. I'll handle it from here." The officer, grateful, gave a respectful nod to Camille and a soft smile to Amara before leaving. Camille then turned to the stunned staff. "Everyone, this store is closed for the rest of the day. Customers will be escorted out. I will personally be reviewing security footage, interviewing staff, and filing an internal report." She locked eyes with the manager. "You are suspended pending investigation. Leave your badge and keys with the cashier." "Please, Miss Bennett, I didn't mean." "But you did, and now you'll learn." He dropped his badge with shaking hands and left. The store so quiet you could hear the soft hum of the lights. Camille knelt beside her daughter again. "Are you all right, baby?" Amara nodded, but her voice wavered. "I didn't even do anything wrong, Mama." "I know," Camille said, "and you won't forget this. But you'll also remember what you are. Not just a black girl, but my daughter. And no one defines you by anything but your truth." That night, Camille released a statement through Glow's official channels. It was direct and uncompromising. No one customer, employee, or family should ever be judged for the color of their skin. Glow Cosmetics was founded on the belief that beauty belongs to everyone. Today, we failed that mission. Tomorrow, we begin fixing it. The story went viral. News outlets ran it. Social media exploded with support. Glow saw a wave of new customers, not because of pity, but because Camille Bennett had shown what real leadership looked like. Not silence, but strength. Not denial, but accountability. And Amara? She returned to that same store a month later, this time with her friends, with her head high, and with a special employee ID badge Camille had made just for her. Asterisk Junior Brand Ambassador. Asterisk, she stood near the same display of lip gloss and smiled, because now she knew she wasn't just shopping. She was standing on a legacy, and no one would ever make her feel small again.